European countries, plus America were their clients. Before we move to a tidbit of Amherst College presidential history, let's view a second card with the identical photo as the college church. In 1907, W.G. Harton sent the card to Frank Potter of Chestertown, New York. He wrote, "Dear Judge, thought you would like this to add to your collection of church views." Harton grew up 50 miles away in Gloversville, New York, and graduated from Amherst with the class of 1909. He knew the judge would be pleased to expand his chosen hobby. Generally, postcard collectors specialize in either themes, such as churches, or in a geographical center, such as one's hometown. My own collecting focus has always been geographical, but once I brushed up against another collector at a postcard show. He was asking for outhouses and circus freaks. We now turn to this black and white card entitled Bird's Eye View of Amherst. The picture taken from atop Johnson Chapel was turned into a postcard by Duell's Drugstore in Amherst and distributed by the Metropolitan News and Publishing Company of Boston, Mass., and Germany. The card, mailed on June 21, 1909, from Amherst to Andover, Mass., is our first example of a divided back postcard. No surprise, as the card was mailed 2 years after such cards were authorized by the UPU. The penciled message, "I have just been laying the diplomas on the floor of President Harris's study as he signed them. Afterward, I saw Mrs. Harris for a few moments. The Amherst house was so full, so I'm located down by the railroad track at Sisson's Hotel. Lovingly, Thaxter." George Harris was president of Amherst College from 1899 to 1912, immediately prior to the administration of Alexander Meiklejohn. Almost all of the cards we will examine today are from the Harris administration. As to the anecdote about diploma signing, Thaxter is surely not implying President Harris was also on his hands and knees signing the diplomas for the class of 1909, but that once signed, she most likely spread the parchments on the floor for the ink to dry, and subsequently to be able to reassemble them in alphabetical order. Isn't that right, Thaxter? We won't even try to guess why the task was outsourced to someone who made the trip to Amherst, who arrived without a hotel reservation. Thaxter's first choice for a hotel would have been Amherst House. Let's see a picture of where Thaxter really wanted to stay.
It's the word Jeff.
Well, right now it's the Bank of America on the corner. These cards draw us from the college campus downtown, as all Amherst students, faculty, and administration were drawn on occasion. One card is black and white, one in color, both printed in Germany. The color card was sent from Nina to Cora, October 25th, 1908, from Amherst to Ware, Mass. Heavily laden carriage, drawn by a single white horse, is parked outside Amherst House near a telephone pole. Two ladies and a gent rest on a bench on the common under a shade tree. We see the lineup of commercial establishments known as Merchants Row on South Pleasant Street. From right to left, Amherst E.O. Store, Duell's Drugstore, Clothes Shop, and E.R. Clark. The black and white card was sent on September 22, 1909 from Cambridge to Marlborough. I'm sure everyone here has received postcards from people who seem to be after the Guinness Book of Records for how many words you can fit on a postcard. Florence's message to Bertha starts on the address side and ends on the picture side. It shows the same buildings on South Pleasant Street and some on Amity Street on the other side of the Amherst House. In addition to offering rooms, Amherst House rented out carriages and buggies. We turn the cards over. Nina's card sent in 1908 is another example of the divided back card. On Florence's card, a line has been drawn through. This side is for the address only, and a bar has been drawn up and down to separate the address from the message. So before our eyes, we see an undivided card which has been modified in stages to follow the new postal regulations. Why did Florence put the red 2-cent stamp of Washington on the postcard? 2 cents was the rate for letters or for a postcard sent abroad. Most of us put our first 2-cent stamp on domestic postcards in January of 1952, but Florence was way ahead of her time. Duell's drugstore in Amherst was in the postcard business, and so was E.R. Clark's, 2 stores to the south on South Pleasant Street. Here are 2 E.R. Clark cards sent between 1906 and 1908. 2 show scenes of the college, 2 of the town, all in black and white, all with a little room for messages on the south side, on the picture side. South Pleasant Street, College Chapel and dormitories, Main Street, and College Library. 1 card has no message, never sent. 2 cards have initials as signatures. We'll put aside the longer message to concentrate on the shorter one. At Amherst, we have grown up to believe that it is the Ferris College. The message on the chapel card adds a superlative, the largest college in the world. Let's turn them over. It's easier to focus on the card with no writing or postmarks. What a handsome decorative card it is. In the upper left, the tip of an evergreen bough, with stylish calligraphy in the word postcard with shadowing. However, we observe again the card is very authoritarian. Notice above postcard, the space above is reserved for postmark, and below, the space below is for the address only. So you got that? No message on this side. Here's the card produced that says, by Robbins Brothers of Boston and Germany. However, the icon MN Co. was used in a card we examined earlier as belonging to Metropolitan News. In postcard production, it's not always clear who produced what, and some photographers sold the same photos to more than one company. Note the flagrant disregard Helen's mother displays with the stern warning on the card. In space below may be written sender's name and address, no other writing. What did Helen's mom write in the forbidden space? She wrote, "It is charming here, but the weather is bad. Hope you're all well. Love to family and Louise, mother." Now let's see what the here refers to. This is the college walk. College walk was over the freshman quad toward the college church, the door of which is visible to the left. The hurricane of 1938 destroyed the grove. Now let's look at a card sent by a member of the class of 1902, which refers back to the class of 1858. On June 24, 1908, Howard Gibbs sent a card to his mother Emma in Marathon, New York, to describe to her his 6th reunion at Amherst. What tickled him most was that they were beating out the 50th reunion class, the class of 1858, for the trophy cup. This 1904 card, entitled The Campus, depicts the verdant entrance to the campus and the observatory. Howard suggested his own caption, "One view of the Ferris College of them all." The college well was in front of Johnson Chapel. Would those be freshman beanies on the left? Their owners waiting for an upperclassman wearing a boater to be served fresh water first? The caption on this card introduces Mrs. Musante, peanuts, fruit, and candy, Amherst, Mass. A lad in knickers is trying to make up his mind what to purchase, while a stern Mrs. Musante is pushing bananas. She also peddles Zeno chewing gum in a hot dish cooking over charcoal. The store awning in back of the stern lady has a Capio sign marked on it. A gent is walking his bicycle. Postcards depicting people, especially close-up, are rare at this period. Let's look at 4 color cards made in Germany and sent in 1907, 08, 09, and 010. First we have Northeast from College Tower, featuring Walker Hall and Grosvenor in the foreground, and the Pelham Hills in the background. The correspondent has written, "The arrow shows where I stay." Let's see what that is. It's a good time too. Second, we are reminded of our compulsory swim as a freshman in the Pratt pool. The printed caption reads, Natatorium Interior. Third, in Amherst Center, Amherst, Mass., we approach the center of town from the south with carriages lining the sidewalk and a trolley ahead of us. Fourth, we return to the Pratt Gymnasium. In the basement was located the natatorium.